So in recent days and weeks, we've been taking a bit of a trip down memory lane by way of the Transformers Armada line, which at this point has been a pretty mixed bag. But I'm kind of excited today because I think we're looking at one of the better offerings with this guy. It is the Transformers Armada version of Smokescreen, who later on became Hoist, and his little minicon partner. Both of these guys are going to be our focus this time around in the latest GotBot True review. Hey all, welcome back to the channel. I'm your host, your most humble of hosts, Dennis Moulton, aka GotBot. As always, please like, comment, share, of course, subscribe, baby. And while you're at it, light them up. That's right, man. Hit that notification bell, please. It helps me out a ton. Lets you know when content of all sorts goes up here on the channel. Check out Machinery of Man, The Everything Factor, Transformers, Collectors, NL, and the Autobot family. Whew. Check me out everywhere across social media, see what we offer through Teespring, and why not check out our Patreon while you're at it. And this is one of, I think, the better offerings, not perfect, but I think it's one of the better offerings from Armada. There's a lot here to like, a lot that is kind of deceptively simple, but it is effective. Is there ways that this could have been improved? Not so much with this guy. I think this guy is actually quite impressive for a minicon. Couple of things could have been improved on this guy, but he's kind of great for what he is. Anyway, how about we head over to the table and take a closer look at this duo? And I've been admittedly pretty hard on the Armada line, but there have been a couple of bright spots. That Optimus Prime with his trailer is not one of them. But Overload was a little bit better, and Jetfire was a little bit better again. I wouldn't say that they've been good enough to exactly salvage the line in my eyes, but all of that might change with this guy, because I have a funny feeling that Armada Smokescreen might be able to kind of help change my opinion a little bit. I feel like he's going to be a good one. We're going to see as we go through here. Now, of course, it is him and his minicon partner, Liftor. Before we do anything, we're going to kind of cover what we can in vehicle mode here first, and there's a lot of things here to like. First, he can roll. Actually, I guess I should flick it that way. He can roll just fine. On the back right here, there's a little blue switch, and if you put that switch over to the other side, then you can kind of drag out his winch, and as you push him forward, it kind of makes the winch, I don't know, rotate and pull in whatever it is it's hooked to. Cool little gimmick. If you want to disengage it so you can just drive the guy, you flick it the other way, and now the winch, you know, if you had it pulled out, it would stay out. If you have it rolled up, it'll stay rolled up. The crane section here, it can move like, you know, way around. Now, his head is in here, but you don't really notice it because right now it's kind of covered up by all this stuff. If we put Liftor up here and do the minicon thing, basically we push it forward, and of course I can't get it to work because these gimmicks bug me. And it opens out this whole piece. There's a blue button here, there's a missile up here that can fire if you hit that blue button. But that's, you know, a crane extension, I guess. You need Liftor to do it. It's the thing. It's the thing that he does, right? Now, that's about it for vehicle mode. It's pretty simple. In terms of scores, we're going to give all of that in a few minutes after we do the transformation, and we're going to actually start off and look at Liftor first. And when I think of Liftor, I think of G1 Wheeljack. This guy is, you know, like he likes to tinker and make things, and he's not particularly one for battle or bravery, which, you know what, maybe since he's one that's more kind of like tech gadget, mechanically minded, it's probably okay that he is paired with Smokescreen, who is more of a jokester, a little more jovial, but also tough and brave. So he kind of fills in the gaps that this guy doesn't have, and this guy fills in the gaps that he doesn't have. I think that they're a nice pairing, like they're kind of opposites, but I think it's sort of opposites attract. He's a little car, I don't know, like a little forklift type of dealy thing. I don't know what he is exactly. In terms of his functionality, like he rolls fine, I guess. The legs flip down, the arm pieces flip out, and I think this piece, yeah, flips on his back, and he can stand up just fine. Very quick, easy transformation, nothing to it, very simple, but everything works smoothly. I think he's mostly animation accurate, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. Not that I remember a whole lot about him, but I feel like the black is basically where it should be. Maybe it should be a gunmetal gray, but I'm going to say the black is basically where it should be. He had one eye bigger than the other. He has that here. Or he had an eye patch or something. The hands, maybe, I think they might, maybe they're supposed to be black. The gray is basically where it is. Maybe a couple little black gaps. I'm going to say it's a solid 9 for what it is in terms of that. The transformation, I'm going to say that's a solid 9. The articulation for the little guy. Oh, and I didn't open out. My mistake. I didn't open out his arms. I apologize. The arms can go forward. There's an elbow, so that's kind of cool. They can't go out to the side, which is too bad, but like they can go forward. That's cool. Hips, independently articulated feet and hips, knees. No swivel, but like it's fine. Here's what I would say. If you guys have been around the channel for any length of time, then you know that when we looked at something as recent as the Siege Micromasters, my very favorite one was one of the jets. I can't remember which one it is now, or his name offhand. Stormcloud, I think it was, because he actually has elbows. This guy is about as good as that. If the arms could move out to the side, that's about all that you could actually want. I would say he's one of the better, if not one of the best, of the minicons. I'm going to say his articulation, solid 9, even by today's standards. Overall, he's a 9. Great start. So with the 9, we come back here now, of course, to the main bot being Smokescreen. And again, in vehicle mode, I feel like we're pretty much in the ballpark for his accuracy. I think that this is about right. I mean, the orange generally seems to be where it should be. This red detailing is. The blue, the gray, it all seems pretty right to me from what I can tell. To do the transformation, we flip down his doors and we flip down his entire waist. We split the legs, we rotate them to the front, and we bring down the feet. And the guy should be able to basically stand up at this point. But I'm going to have to kind of show this because I don't have this back enough yet. We take the entire head and crane section and turn it around, and we bring the arms out to the side and bring them down to the side. Yes, I know I need to readjust things so that you can see him because he's gone off screen. And my apologies for the guy going off screen. The only things that you miss is that we take the arms down and we extend them a little bit, and we take the waist and we collapse it. But in the end, basically, here we have Smokescreen in all of his glory. Of course, we know that later on this guy was damaged in battle with Megatron. He became Hoist, and we're going to kind of see a little bit of a comparison just for laughs in a few moments. But here he is. He's pretty solid. I'm shocked that he stands as well as he does, especially with this huge crane over his shoulder. The transformation's fun, easy. I mean, the arms are really the top of the vehicle. The legs are really the lower part of the vehicle with the waist flipping down like it does. I absolutely love it. I think it's great. I'm going to say 10. The coloration in robot mode, man, I think it's pretty accurate to what we got in the cartoon. Like when I look at images of him, when I use my memory of him, this seems right. Like the blue biceps, the orange lower parts on his forearms, the positioning of the crane over his shoulder, the slightly different blue on his face, the winch on his chest. I don't know, everything seems right. I'm going to say, honestly, I'm going to say 10. We have a 9 for transformation. I'm going to say a 10 for the coloration. What about the articulation? Remember, Liftor was a 10, or sorry, a 9 overall. What about the articulation here? Well, the head goes left and right. It can go left and right independent of this, but if you move this, it's going to go with it. And I suppose you could, can you leave? Nah, I think, maybe you can. I guess if you wanted to, you could leave this around this way and just have the head out. I mean, that's up to you. The shoulders can go all the way around. They can go out to the side. We have a butterfly. I wish we had more of an elbow. I don't want to pull this more. If you can get more of an elbow, I can't get it, and there's no bicep swivel. So a little more movement on the arms would be nice. There's no waist, but that's fine. There's almost a little bit of an ab crunch, an ab wiggle. The legs, however, can go all the way forward and all the way back. He can do splits pretty far out to the side, respectably far. No knees that I can discern, but there is a swivel. So there are limitations here, even for the time that he came out. I'm going to say that his articulation overall, like he could have benefited from knees, he could have benefited from deeper elbows. I'm going to say his articulation overall is about a 7. Here he is next to Earthrise Hoist. I know, this isn't the hoist that he gets rebuilt into, but I just wanted to give everybody a sense of scale based on something pretty recent that I think a lot of folks probably know. Overall, however, Liftor and Smokescreen are a pretty good duo in a line that generally suffers a lot in terms of its articulation for the sake of gimmicks. This one worked out mostly okay. Like I said, we're missing a knee, we're missing a deeper elbow. Liftor's a 9 overall. I would say that Smokescreen overall, he had a 9, a 10, and a 7. He's about an 8, so the overall score for this duo is about an 8.5. Pretty good. Little bit of room to improve, but pretty good overall. And here we are once again. This little minicon is one of the strongest, if not the strongest of the minicons. And then we get to this guy, who's generally good. Like, he looks good, he looks right, you know, in comparison to the animation. I know that the big crane thing is a bit off-putting, but, like, again, it's accurate. I'm not really sure why it's so connected to the head movement, but whatever. I think the little winch thing is kind of genius, and the simplicity of a button to turn it on and off is also genius. I wish the elbows had, you know, more of a bend than barely any. It's like, you know, it's okay, you'll survive, but it'd be nice if they had a little bit more. And a knee would have been nice. Like, if you could have extended the leg just a little bit to get a knee, that would have been nice. It's not bad. I mean, it's not wonderful, but it's not bad. If you are a fan of Armada, then I think this is one of the strongest ones to get from the line. Again, I'm not looking at the Armada line so much with nostalgia as a lot of people are, because it was kind of after my time. I'm looking at it more from, I don't know, its functionality. And some people, I'm going to address this now, man. Some people have said, hey, GotBot, you can't compare it to today's standards. Well, you kind of can, but taking that out of it, man, we can compare it to what came before and just after. We had Beast Wars and RID just before. We had Cybertron and Energon just after. And I would argue that Cybertron and Energon were probably better. Nevertheless, there are bright spots in every line, and this guy is definitely one of the bright spots. I actually like this lad. Let me know what you think about this guy. You know I love to hear from you. I appreciate you coming by and giving me some of your time, some of your very valuable time. If you're in a position to help the channel to grow, there's a donate link down in the description. Or, of course, you can visit us on Patreon and check out what we offer through Teespring. If you haven't hit the subscribe button, man, do it. Stick around. Have some fun with us. We do a lot of things around here. Don't forget that somehow, some way, each and every single day, man, you do make a difference. And I look forward to the next time that you and I get together to have another visit, either in the live shows on Thursday nights at the stop motion premieres, or the old-fashioned way, baby, right here inside the videos.